What's up, chat? How is everyone doing? Welcome. What is it? May 5th, Tuesday, 1 p.m. on the East Coast. We are live. Welcome to the Fight Bananas show. Should be a fun one. No L, guys. L is traveling with Grant Dawson. They're going to Newark, New Jersey for UFC 328. It's a Grant Dawson fight week. That's always fun here in Fight Bananas land. We got G coming on pretty soon. I think Cody Durden's going to start the show with us here in a second. So lot to get into. So chat. Be vocal. I throw it on our Facebook page. Ask away. We'll answer. I'll answer any question, MMA related, sports related, family related, anything you want to throw at me. So let's go. It is a UFC pay-per-view weekend, so we'll get into it in a second. It's Chimaev weekend. That's always fun. A lot of good stuff. We're 2 weeks away from Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano. But I got to start, right? What's up, Duke? What's up, John? I got to start. Let me push that nice button. Where can I get the, I like having the comments up. Oh, here we go. Show comments on stage. Yeah, there we go. I like that. 328. Duke. All right. I was going to start JDM and Prates, but I told you guys, today is your show. We're going to start where you're starting. Are you betting on Grant's fight? Absolutely. 328 is stacked. I do. I think I've been very vocal about this year. I think it's been a down year in the UFC, especially in the pay-per-views. I just think they've been I think 328 is pretty good. One, you got Chimaev in a main event. That's always great against a rival. I think he's going to run through him. Spoiler alert, I'm going with Chimaev in a big win right away. But I think you got another title fight on it. That heavyweight fight is a big pivotal fight in the heavyweight division. You got Brady Buckley. That's a really high-level fight on the card. The prelims are stacked. I think this is a very good pay-per-view. I think this is back in the day, you spend $80 on this and you feel good about it. So I do think this is stacked. I'll get more in the card, but I told you I'll answer every question. Are you betting on Grant's fight? Yes. I bet on Grant's fight a lot throughout the years. Let me get that Fight Bananas logo off. Let me do that. Yeah, I like that. I want you guys to see Mickey Mouse up there. All right. Am I betting on Grant's for sure? Dawson and Rubisky's preview. That's a good one. Let's get into that. I'm trying to say this the best way. There's, of course, with having Elle on the show, and Elle and Grant are married, right? And me and Elle are great friends. Grant and I are great friends. Sometimes I know more stuff than the common folk. Let's just say that. That's pretty obvious, right? Let's just say that some of the last fights, I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying there's reasons. Sometimes I think there's stuff behind some of probably his last fight, maybe why it didn't go great. And maybe they fight 100 times and maybe he loses 100 times. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not trying to be that excuse guy. I'm just trying to clarify and put some stuff out there. I don't think he went into it as 100%. Let's just say that. This fight, though, I think we're going to see a really good Grant Dawson. I don't think I'm going out on the limb. I don't think I'm saying anything I shouldn't say. I think this Saturday night, I think we see a very high level, mean, fast, angry, motivated Grant Dawson. And there's a lot of things that we will see and hear about in the near future with that. Rubisky. I talked about this when they were talking about the fight and it wasn't, 100% official, or it was just out there rumored, and we kind of talked off air about it. I love the matchup. I'm just being brutally honest. I love the matchup. Rubisky's been through so many wars before. And I just think when you take that much damage, he was in the fight of 2025, I believe, right? Versus, one of them, and then like 3 fights in a row. How about the him versus Duncan fight? Rubisky just takes so much damage. Sooner or later, your invincibility, your chin, right? Your go-to, what Ferguson has went through, and Tai Tuivasa, sooner or later, that goes. Like, if that's like your strength, if that's your go-to, is like, he's so damn tough. He's so tough to beat and so tough to knock out. Sooner or later, it goes away. I don't know if this is the fight that goes away, but if Grant Dawson's on some ground and pound, maybe there's a little bit less there than there used to be. So I love Grant Dawson in this fight. I think Grant will definitely be able to take down Rubisky multiple times around. I love Grant in this fight. I think he's only a minus 150. So yes, I'm big on Grant Dawson in this fight. I'm betting a little on Waldo, Buckley, and Van as a parlay. I think they all have a good chance to win. They're all underdogs. Okay. John, I like this. Definitely ask away. The Waldo versus Volkov. I'm iffy on that, actually. I think I'm leaning Volkov. I think Cortez Acosta has been on a roll. Volkov is that classy, savvy veteran. Of course, if Cortez gets one punch, it's kind of over, and it is what it is. But I'm leaning Volkov, to be honest. Buckley and Brady, that's a close fight too. That's a close fight. I think we all got off the Buckley train after the Usman fight. I just think we all underrate Kamaru Usman for the last year or two. So that's a close fight. And then Van and Tiara, that's a very close fight too. So that's a tough one. You ready for this, John? I would stay away because all three of those are kind of close, almost coin tosses. And to win all three will be tough. But that's just my 2 cents. But watch you win. Watch you win. Hey, bro, how you been? Sean, I've been great, man. Been very good, very lucky, very blessed. My life is I live a blessed life, man. Family's good, healthy. We start sports. We have our baseball season ended. We're in basketball season now. We just had my daughter's draft last night. I draft my son's team tonight. So life's good, man. Show's great. We just had a show at Island Fights this past Saturday night, commentating for Island Fights. We have a busy summer. I think I got 6 dates in the next 10 weeks. Very busy summer. It was so cool. I was commentating on Saturday, Island Fights 96. Roy Jones Jr. is in the building. He's coming to talk to us. It was great stuff, man. It was good. So shout out to Island Fights. It was a really good weekend. Let me try to get to JDM and Prates, guys, before Durden comes on and before G comes on, before 328. Ooh. Why is the UFC Expo canceled? Sean, I haven't seen that yet. What do you mean is it the White House or International Fight Week? I haven't seen that yet. By the way, the Knicks, come on. Knicks in 6. I love it. It's crazy that Prates has KO'd the Leach, Edwards, and JDM, all of whom have been KO'd in the UFC before fighting Prates. Who hadn't been? Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, John, that is crazy. That is crazy. I think Prates is that guy. I think he's underrated. We were going back and forth on picking it. How good has Carlos Prates looked against everyone except for Ian Gary? And I think that shows you how good Ian Gary is. So I know he's not the fan favorite sometimes and not a vocal guy. Prates is awesome. Ian Gary is awesome. And I'm excited if this is the best run that Islam Makhachev will ever have of opponents. If he fights Ian Gary in the early summer, hopefully late in the year, he'll fight Morales or Prates. And then hopefully in spring, if he wins, he'll fight the other Prates or Michael Morales in the spring of 2027. Guys, those are 3 phenomenal number 1 contenders. And I think all 3 of them deserve to fight for the world championship. Who knows who fights for the championship next in order? But I would assume Islam's next 3 fights are not Ilya, not McGregor, not a lightweight. They are Gary, Morales, and Prates. So I'm excited to see that. I don't know if you guys agree with that. Oh, International Fight Week. So, Sean, this is what I think, man. This is what I've kind of heard. This is, sometimes I hear some things and sometimes it's perfect, right? Remember I told you about Mike Perry and Nate Diaz a month before it was announced, right? International Fight Week is kind of not International Fight Week this year. International Fight Week is kind of the White House, is the Freedom Fight. That's what I've been hearing. They're spending so much time and energy all week long. They're doing in meet and greets and, try to say this the best way, like, pictures, and they're doing that fan expo-y type of stuff at the White House. So I think that's kind of the new International Fight Week for this year. I know it's wild that they do have the Vegas card, which we will think we see McGregor versus Holloway, right? We saw that in the game trailer today, I think, which was pretty funny. So I think International Fight Week, to me, the expo is not canceled. I just think it's moved to the White House. That's everything I've been hearing. So that's that. But I do understand Vegas, that July week. It's kind of weird that it's not what it was for the last 3, 4, 5 years, So, all right. Guys, keep on asking away. We'll keep on talking about it. If not, I'll start just breaking down some stuff. And like I said, I really want to start with Perth and JDM and Prates. I saw a lot of negativity around JDM afterwards and the curse, and I'll get into that in a second. I just think we got to say, how good is Carlos Prates? Like, his stand-up, his defense on takedowns, dude, that was a very Max Holloway type of fight. you don't have to be a wrestler to be good at wrestling defense. All Prates needs to do is practice wrestling defense and perfect stopping his opponent from taking him down. I don't think Prates ever wants to be a wrestler / grappler, but if he's standing up against you for multiple rounds, it seems like he will get the finish. He is so good. There wasn't just one thing I saw. You know what? We saw the knees and we saw the outside leg kicks. We see the elbows. He is he has so many tools in the toolbox for Prates standing up. So, oh yeah. Okay. So Duke, good question. UFC Baku. I saw the main event and co-main got announced. Co-main is pretty cool too with Shire Bullet and Piera. Torres versus Fiziev. Manuel Torres versus Fiziev. I'm a Fiziev guy. If you remember last year, that was one of my biggest bets I've ever made in a UFC fight when wasn't it Fiziev versus Zellhuber? Is that the fight I'm thinking about, guys, last summer? And I just think people are off on Fiziev, but Fiziev just fought Gaethje twice. One, he tore up his knee, I believe. One was a short notice fight of the year. And the other, he had just had 3 losses in a row. We're done with Fiziev. They were great losses. It would kind of remind me a little bit of Peter Yan. Peter Yan lost 3 times in a row too. But they were great losses. One, he was winning against Aljo and then got a DQ. One was a split decision 5-round war against Aljo. And then one was a split decision loss to Sugar Sean O'Malley, who's really good. And you can argue both of those he won, right? So Peter Yan was kind of winning all 3 of those. Kind of crazy if you think about it that way. So early pick, Fiziev. I really like Fiziev. I saw a lot of people saying that Pirates' performance was similar to Anderson Silva's performance. What do you think about that? Oh, Prates? No, I don't think so at all. Oh, you mean in a positive light? He looks so good? Yeah, Banahanos. Thank you, Sean. Hey, Sean Sterling, my dear friend. Yes, that's the one. Sean, you're one of my dudes. You're one of my guys. We follow each other on Facebook. We go back and forth with each other. I'm a big Sean Sterling guy, but you got to take some medicine today, my man. You got to take medicine. I think you were trying to get on my Knicks when we were losing to the Hawks and Boston was cleaning up on Philly. Sean, it's time to take some medicine today, my man. All right. Who knows? It could end any night, but I love Knicks are on a run right now. We're on a run. Yeah, comparing Prates to Prime. Yeah. So yeah, I get what you're saying, but if I'll say this, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it's I saw all of Anderson Silva's during the prime. I definitely got some age on me for sure. Prates to me, I think he's got better wrestling defense. Am I wrong on that? I just always remember Anderson getting taken down some, against Chael multiple times. Travis Lutter got him down. Anderson Silva does a great job on his back, throwing elbows. I remember absolutely messing up Lutter's top of his skull. So I think Anderson's better down there. I think Anderson is more smooth and more of a counter puncher, where Prates to me is a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more flamboyant, jump in knees, that kind of stuff. That's just my sense. I get what you guys are saying, but I think he's a little bit more, a little bit different. Been taking medicine for weeks. The collapse was so bad it got me contemplating even being a fan of the Celtics more or less. All right, Sean. There you go. I like that. Hey, once in a while you just got to type it out or over and done with. Yeah, it's been a bad month. It's been a bad 2 months for Boston sports. So, but yeah, they will do something, dude. The Celtics are run really, really well, so they'll do something. I just think it's crazy how much. When Jaylen Brown made that all team, that was triple team, guys, this is an MMA show talking about basketball. Here we go. When he made when they made the all NBA team, they had to pay him that much money. It just hurts everything. It's I heard next year, literally their salary, Tatum and Brown takes up 72% of the cap. It's how can you have a team when 2 players take up almost 3/4 of the cap? So pretty crazy. Having a season ticket. I told people I'm selling all season tickets next year. Dude, you can make some money on the third market. I'll tell you that for sure. Tatum and Giannis championship next year. Whoa, Giannis for a Jaylen Brown trade. I like it. All right. So I was uber impressed with Carlos Prates. I think Prates, I think I hate to say this, and I don't think it's going to happen. Prates kind of should be next after Gary. And I think I know Michael Morales got a great win against Sean Brady, and we're going to see Brady this weekend. And I know he's kind of, I don't want to say a popular pick, but I think they really want Morales to get that shot with his undefeated record. I think Prates has done more in the UFC. I think his resume is better than Michael Morales. This is the big question. If Ian Gary is next, and we see Ian Gary versus Islam in August, right? If that's next, do we see Prates versus Morales? Like, are they going to do that? Are they going to do, to me, the number one contender and the number two contender, you know, because Gary gets the title shot? Do they take easily the next two guys and pin them against each other, and then the winner fights Islam next, and the loser can always get back there? Do they pin those two men against each other? That's the question I want to be asked, because one, that fight is incredible, right? Like, if you tell me Morales and Prates, any fight night they can headline, or it could be a co-main event of any PLE or pay-per-view, if you want to say. So I think that's the interesting question, because what do the both guys do? Do they both sit out for the rest of the year? And only one of them is going to get that title shot next. I don't see Prates sitting out a whole year. You know what I mean? I don't see Morales. Morales hasn't fought in 5 months. When is Morales going to fight again? So I'm really interested to see. Were you more impressed by Prates or less impressed by JDM? I get those leg kicks. Okay, so Sean, that's what I'm saying. I was easily more impressed by Prates. Like, more. I'm a more positive guy. I think you know that glass is this water is half full, not half empty, right? Yeah, I thought Prates was awesome, and I thought JDM had his moments too. But when you have a guy who is the top 3 welterweight in the world, and when he's on money, when he is on one, you just got to give it up to him. I think JDM beats 80 welterweights on Saturday. He doesn't beat Prates that night, and he probably, of course, doesn't beat Islam Makhachev. We've all seen that fight. So I was very impressed with Prates. Let's go to JDM for a second. And I saw a ton of negativity. I saw a ton of that welterweight curse. If you lose a welterweight championship fight, what happens next? This is what I'll say to that. Bilal Muhammad and Leon and Usman and now JDM. I think there was one more guy involved there. When you lose the championship in a great division like the welterweight division, which how good it is, you are like this for 4 years. All those guys, JDM, Usman, Leon, Bilal, those guys haven't lost in 3 or 4 years. Probably the prime of your career. They get to the championship fight. They win it. Sometimes they defend themselves 1 or 2 or 3 times. And then, guys, new lions come up. And just think about JDM beat Bilal. Like, these new guys, Leon won 7, 8 fights in a row and then beats Usman. Bilal went 8 fights and then comes up and beats Leon. These new lions come up. I don't think it's anything bad about Bilal, JDM, Leon. I don't think these guys are done, but it's like, you spend the prime of your career on the way up, you win the championship, and then these new monsters like now next, and I know Islam has been the undefeated guy for 6 years, and he is one of the greats of all time, so I think that's a little bit different. But when he loses to Gary or Morales or Prates, like, everyone's going to be like, that's what happens. The welterweights are the best in the world. I felt like it used to be the lightweights. The lightweights are a little old to me right now, like that top 5, top 7's old. Ilya's the best in the world probably. The welterweight division, we've been on this for a year, is phenomenal. Welterweights are awesome. So I don't think it's a curse. I just think you fight really good fighters when you're the best welterweight in the world. That's what I think. Oh, missed this one. Sorry. Why do you think the UFC went with Robeski versus Dawson? What's the reason behind the matchup in your opinion? All right, Duke. Both of those guys are 16 through 22. And they do a thing. There's not a lot of those guys, even 10 through 22. There's 5 of them from American Top Team. So there's only so many guys you can face. And Robeski already fought Duncan. Have you seen a lot of guys has fought Duncan that will fight Dawson? That will, if you win, you fight Moicano. If you lose, you go backwards. If you win, you fight Gamrot. There's just a lot of lightweights at American Top Team. So there's just not a lot of options, to be brutally honest. You ready for this one? Dawson will probably fight Terrence McKinney sooner or later, who already fought Duncan. You know what I mean? If Dawson wins 2 fights in a row and just say Benoit St. Denis loses to Patty, then Grant will fight Benoit St. Denis, who already fought, You know what I mean? Moicano. There's just so many lightweights, 5 through 18, 5 through 20. And then I'm not kidding, 6 or 7 of them are American top team guys. So there's only so many guys you can fight. If you lose to Islam, you lose your next fight. Yeah, I can see that a little bit. Again, to fight Islam Makhachev, you went on a run. I think that's my point, Sean. Same thing if you become the champion or however it happens. If you fight Islam, that means you probably went 5, 6, 7 wins in a row. And if you lose to Islam, they give you a hard fight right away. Like you don't go back to 14. You are going to fight Buckley. You're going to fight Brady. You're going to fight Morales or Gary. So there's just, it's tough, man. It's tough. I think Khamzat finishes Khamzat in round 1. I think you mean Khamzat finishes Strickland. Sean, okay, I see your next thing. I do too, guys. I'm happy. I talked about the very beginning of the show. I said, spoiler alert, Chimaev and Strickland's the main event. And I'm a part of the media and I see all the shows and I talk about it. We do shows and podcasts and we're supposed to promote the fight and be, and they hate each other. They got more security than any pay-per-view they had. I think I heard something about they got more, they had the most security at an event since a Conor McGregor fight. Like they got that high level of security. They don't want anything to happen, so on, so on. I'm not falling for it. Like, it's cool about all the hype. I'm going to be excited. Can't wait to watch the press conference. Can't wait to watch the weigh-ins, all that. But no, yeah, Chimaev to me is going to run through Sean Strickland. Like run through him. I think he beats him under 5 minutes. I do. That's funny. Khamzat versus Khamzat would be wild. That would be wild. That'd be a good fight. Quillin versus Gamrot should be a main event. Agree. Of a fight night. Like if you they just made the fight night of Baku today of Fiziev and Manuel Torres, right? So that's the same fight. That's the same. You have the up-and-comer guy who hasn't fought that top 5 or 7 guy yet, and Gamrot and Fiziev. And then you got Quillin and Manuel Torres, who's are on fire. They've been knocking out people. Really, really good guys. So yeah, I can see that as a main event. Probably in Vegas at the Apex. I can see that. Strickland trained with Johnny Eblen to prepare for Khamzat for sure. And we were lucky enough. We talked to Johnny Eblen multiple times. Johnny and Grant are great friends. Eblen was great on the show. He's got something big soon, guys. Something big. You will see a fight poster soon enough about Eblen. Yeah, but I love Johnny Eblen. Johnny Eblen and Chimaev are 2 different monsters. And I think they're kind of 2 different fight styles too. It doesn't matter if Strickland trades with Eblen every day for a year. I think Chimaev is another monster. I just do. That's just my 2 cents. Dustin and Jorge were saying they think Buckley is a bad matchup for Brady on their show yesterday. Ooh, okay. I like that. Buckley's a bad matchup for Brady. Yeah, I could see that actually. I do. I think Buckley's very athletic, very explosive, and Sean needs to get Buckley down. Buckley's got great wrestling defense. I can see that. I kind of am leaning towards Buckley right now, to be honest. So I can vibe that. Does Strickland have any advantages over Khamzat besides his jab? He's American. He probably talks trash a little bit better. He has better content with Nina. I think that's it. I think that's where it lays. Inside the octagon, no, nothing. Even the jab. Chimaev can strike as well. So, no, I think Chimaev smashes him. Watch along Saturday. No watch along on Saturday, Sean. I think good things. 1, L is there with Grant fighting in New Jersey and at the pay-per-view. So L is tied up, of course. Myself, I'm lucky enough. Me and the boys are going to Tampa, Florida for WWE's Backlash. We're going to be there live. We're Florida guys. My sons are super into wrestling lately. I think, do I have anything John Cena or McAfee? Oh, there you go. See, we got a John Cena here. The boys got this for me for Christmas, his farewell tour. He's actually going to be there in Tampa for Backlash. What do I else got wrestling? Do I have a McAfee somewhere? Let's see. All right, a Pat McAfee somewhere. Oh, here we go. It's behind my second place trophy, Sean. We got Pat McAfee. So yeah, we're into WWE. My boys are super into it. So I'll be there live. I'm actually, I hate to say it, first time ever, not doing something special for Grant's fight. And so Grant will probably fight around 7:30. So I will be there in Tampa for that fight. I'll be kind of busy and I'll be watching it on my phone on Paramount Plus. I need to bring my charger. So appreciate you reminding me on that. A lot of comments, boys. Keep it coming. I need you. Looks like Cody Durden is a no-show. It happens once in a while. I know G will come on pretty soon. Not even checking my phone. Yep. Durden's a no-show, boys. It's all good. It happens. Osman versus Shavkat are the hardest matchup versus Islam. Okay, I'm going to talk about that, Duke. Shavkat is injured. Amzov's getting slow road because the UFC knows it would be a bad guy coming from Bellator. These choice. No, Duke. Okay, I totally disagree with this. Duke, totally disagree. Islam's top 3 challengers are Ian Gary, creative, smart, offensive. I think Ian Gary. And then Morales and Prates with just the striking ability to end the fight on one punch, knee, or elbow. Shavkat, guys, you ready for this one? Maybe this is a hot take. I'm over Shavkat. For one, like Shavkat's biggest moment, he kind of choked out Jeff Neal. No offense. It's not the greatest thing. And then on short notice, on 4 days, he beat Ian Gary 29-28. Like, I'm just not super into Shavkat. He's been injured. He's had another knee surgery. Look at football players. Sometimes you mess up the knee. You're never the same. So hot take. I'm not into Shavkat Rakhmonov. I don't know when he's going to fight next. You can't be out for 2 years and get an immediate title shot. I think Shavkat fights the loser out of Gary and Morales and Prates in 6 or 8 months. And I think all 3 of those guys beat Shavkat. So there you go. Buckley been working with Usman too. Okay, yeah, dude. I like Buckley in this spot. I like Buckley's spot, dude. He was on fire too. So I like Buckley beating Sean Brady. I think you laughed at that Sean Strickland stuff. Chandler got a top 6 guy. Pitbull got a top 5 guy. MVP got a top 12. And Osiris fought 2 unranked guys in the prelims. Both yeah. Well, I get what you're saying. He's not the most exciting fighter. And I think they're gun shy now about Bellator guys because look about the Chandler thing didn't work out. Pitbull did not work out. MVP's still around. MVP's doing his thing. Not the most exciting fighter, but I think sometimes you push someone super fast and sometimes you slow it down. And, sometimes it's about 8. Dude, I'm telling you guys with me in this, and I know so much behind the scenes stories. You never know. It might be his camp that's slowing this down. It might be his camp saying, hey, you're not ready for a top 10 guy. Let's get these UFC checks. These win checks are double. If you lose, you get half your pay. Maybe he's in need of money. I don't know. I'm telling you, there's a lot more stuff that happens than you guys think. I'm telling you, it would blow your guys' minds if I told you some of these stories I got. That's good shit, Dave. Have some fun. Enjoy with the kids. Appreciate it, Sean. Thank you, brother. I think you meant about backlash. Keep up the comments. How do you think Grant wins? Pretty simple. Take down Rubisky and ground and pound. I don't think this is a submission. I think Rubisky's so tough. And honestly, Grant said that his neck is super short and thick and strong. I don't think he gets a submission. You need a ground and pound. I think Rubisky has been through wars. It might take multiple rounds. You get him down and you punch. I think TKO Grant Dawson. That's how I think he wins. What are Cosmot's chances against Prime Jones, or does Jones still smile? Oh, yeah. No. Whatever you think outside the cage of John Jones, inside he's the greatest I have ever seen. And of course, Prime Jones I think out of Prime beats Chimaev. One, they're just different. Chimaev to me is really welterweight / middleweight. Jones is a light heavyweight, way like they're not even close to size. So yes, Prime Jones smashes Chimaev, and I'm a big on Chimaev. Dave, I know we don't want to talk about it, but what happens if Grant loses? Yeah, I don't want to talk about it, Sean. I don't know, man. It'd be tough because that'd be 3 in a row, right? Yeah, it'd be tough, man. It's Ferguson lost 7, Ty lost 7. I know. Well, I don't know why I can't think of the first loss. I was there live for Torres. Who did Grant lose before Torres? Why can't I think of it? King Green? Or was this 2 in a row? What am I? Help me out on that. Let me look on the old trusty iPhone. Grant Dawson. All right, Grant. 23-3, guys. Like, he's 23-3, 32. Oh, no, yeah, guys. It would only be 2 losses in a row. After the King Green, Selecki win, Rafi Garcia, who just had a great win, he won, and Diego Fiera. Like, Grant beats, I hate to say, like, everyone he should. I think Manuel Torres is really good. Like, very, very good. What have been Manuel Torres beats Fiziev? Like, I think Manuel Torres is very good, and he got caught, and no excuses. Grant didn't go into that fight 100%. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. But I appreciate the question. Islam beats Gary and then fights Gillian, and then he retires. I think Gillian submits him. All right. Poirier said Amosov is the most underrated teammate he's trained with on the show yesterday. Yeah, I hear that a lot. I hear that from Grant and L. L has been so high on him. So, yes, so high. Islam fights Gary and Ilya and retires. I don't think so. I think the UFC would want the Islam versus Prates or the Islam versus Morales fight. I think he's got some fights up here at welterweight. And honestly, Islam doesn't have to do that horrible weight cut anymore. And he's still young and he still looks amazing. Like, I don't think he retires as quickly as people think. Guys, Khabib was killing himself to, 1, make the weight. And then 2, if his father doesn't pass away, I don't think he retires that young either. I just think that's out there. Sometimes you use that as leverage. I think Islam has 5 fights more. I think he's got more fights, especially if he wins, especially. I'm not saying Amosov should be next. I'm saying it's a harder fight than Islam compared to Gary and Prates. Ooh, I disagree, Duke, but I appreciate it. Sambo background, championship experience. No, he's very good. Very good. I'm telling you, I hear great things about him. Great things. If this zone beats Alvarez, I expect the UFC to book him against MVP. Maybe. Because I think they don't like MVP, so I can see that. Yeah, just 2 in a row. Yeah, like Sean, a lot of guys lose 2 fights in a row, right? JDM. Like, I'm not saying Grant is JDM, but yeah, 2 fights in a row is not the worst. And, no, it's a big fight for Grant. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I think he knows that. And that's what I'm saying. He knows it's a big fight. Let's just say that. He knows what's on the line. If he wants to be a serious title contender in the rankings, he needs to win this fight. It's plain and simple. I wouldn't say anything to you guys. I wouldn't say something to Grant. He knows he needs to win this fight. Fun fact, both times Grant lost in the UFC, his next opponent was someone with the last name ending with Eki on a New Jersey card. Look, dude. Duke. I'm taking a picture of that. Duke, that is comment of the day. Comment of the day, Duke. Hey, Duke, who was it last week? Duke with the comment of the day. Do DM us on Instagram or some kind of socials. My personal at David Van Auken. We'll send you some UFC cards, man. That is comment of the day. Duke, you're the man. Do you think we'll get Conor this year, especially with him hearing they did him dirty for the ad? Yes, Conor's fighting in July on the International Fight Week. I think against Max Holloway too. And I'm surprised. Guys, the UFC doesn't do anything. They know what they're doing. I think they knew what they were doing with having him get knocked out by Max Holloway in that game. It's kind of like, hey, Conor, if you want to come back and prove us wrong, come back. So, Sean, I think it was brilliant by the UFC to do that, to be honest. Brilliant. Scott, I'm surprised Rebesky would take that fight versus Grant and risk losing 3 in a row. Well, Scott, there's only, again, same thing. There's only so many guys Rebesky can fight. You know what I mean? Like, there's only so many. Lightweights are tough. Like, maybe they offered him, because Duncan just fought Moicano. Sometimes it's about timing, and it's just not a lot of guys. Dude, Grant just did it. Rafi Garcia is awesome. Diego Fierro is really good. He just lost to Manuel Torres, right? Like, the lightweight division's awesome, especially 14 through 23. It's really, really good. Have we heard any update from PFL regarding Dakota, as Usman is fighting soon? So maybe Dakota on the same card. Trying to say this the best way possible without giving you too much and without giving you nothing. Dakota is fighting soon, not on an Usman card. There you go. I think I did enough. Yeah, she's fighting soon, guys. I think you guys will be happy about it. And not on the Usman card. Oh, Dakota Bush. I thought you meant Dakota Ditchova. My fault. So when I got too many comments. Rubeski's a fun fight, though, so losing 3 shouldn't affect him. Yeah, I totally agree. And I think Grant has a lot of respect for Rubeski. And, yeah, the UFC, he's an awesome fighter. He's a stud. Dakota Bush. Oh, so Dakota Ditchova is fighting soon. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that. And I think Dakota Bush is fighting soon too. Yeah. All right. That wasn't, maybe I said too much there. Maybe Rubeski versus Dawson wasn't the first option for the UFC, but no one else was available. No, they want, the UFC wanted that fight. They got it. The UFC wanted that fight. I'll leave it at that. For example, maybe UFC wanted versus Mona and Dawson versus Aliv. No. Like Duke, it was Dawson versus Rubeski. They wanted that fight, and maybe for reasons we're not sure of. Maybe they like Dawson and they think Dawson needs to get a win to get back in it, or maybe they want Rubeski and they think Dawson's no good and can't take a punt. I don't know. There's always reasons behind it. But yeah, Dawson Rubeski was definitely a targeted fight for the UFC. Wow, caught up. That was a lot of comments, chat. Keep it up. I know G will be here any minute, so that's cool. Okay. I did talk about Prates, welterweight curse. Let me throw out another name to you. Let me throw out Tai Tuivasa. And Elle and myself talk about Tai Tuivasa a ton. We were strong on him last week about how Tai Tuivasa definitely needed to win this fight. And this was a big one for him, maybe the end for him. And I heard something today, and I kind of changed my mind on something. It didn't go well. He looked bad. That's 7 losses in a row. So he doesn't look good. However, just think about this. Like, and I'll use it as me, a school teacher, a police officer, a mailman, whatever you guys do for a living, right? If you have bad days or a bad week or a bad month at your job, you would hope that you have enough, relationship wise or enough in the tank to be like, hey, I'm on a bad stretch, but this is what I do for a living. And everyone's like, hey, he should be done fighting. This is what he does for a living. I agree that maybe he shouldn't be in the UFC or shouldn't be fighting the top 15 in the UFC. But I just see you coming up here. It doesn't mean that Tai Tuivasa can't fight in a bare knuckle MMA, can't fight for the PFL. How about boxing? You right? Like, tell me if the MVP promotions ever wanted to go to Australia. How about Jake Paul versus Tai Tuivasa? Tell me that's not a fun poster. Like, this is what this man does for a living. I think we're too hard on people to kind of cut them off. You know what I mean? That's just my 2 cents. How do we feel about Tiago versus Van? Honestly, think Tiago is a bad matchup for him. I agree, Sean. Yeah, Sean, I agree. I do agree. And I love Joshua Van. Him versus Royval, one of the great fights ever. Love that fight. Always been a Joshua Van. Joshua Van's been on the show 3-4 times. I think it's a bad matchup. I do. And I don't like the mojo for Van lately. I don't know. Sometimes you win the championship, you change as a man. I don't know if I like it or not. So I'm leaning with you as well. Months ago, there were rumors that Rubeski versus Chenko was in the works for this card. Yeah, I know that Chenko, I don't think he can fight in the USA, right? He's one of those guys I don't think he can fight here. So I don't know. from Ruben Carter. Oh, yeah, I do. I'm not trying to disparage any name. Ruben Carter is the worst in the industry, the worst. And also, guys, like I say this whole time, sometimes stuff just makes sense. And, I hear rumors and I hear stuff, and sometimes straight up L tells me what's going to happen next on certain things, or I know some managers, whatever. But sometimes we're smart about it. We can put things together. Like if, let's just say a heavyweight fight, just say if Cortez Acosta wins, and this is 7 in a row, and Josh Hoek beats Derek Lewis, not throwing, not brain surgery. I think they match up Cortez versus Hoek, and that is a true number one contendership, because whatever happens with Poatan and Gon, the winner fights Aspinall, so then that's them. Hoek and Cortez is over here. The winner of this will be a year. They win this fight. They fight in December, and then the spring they fight Poatan or Aspinall. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's not brain surgery. There's only so many guys. Someone who cares, MMA Guru, I think, is the worst. He's not my cup of tea, not my cup of tea. But I also think he doesn't break news. Like Ruben Carter puts up those fight announcements all the time. I see him on Twitter. He's pretty bad. Guru, I don't think, does that. He just has really, 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 really strong takes and opinions. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not my cup of tea either. Tara and Van are both so young. Think they will still only get better. Yeah, Sean, great point. I agree with that. Yeah, I can see this is not the only time they'll fight each other. Let's just say that, right? I think whoever wins this fight, the loser is not a loser, really good high-level fighter, comes back. I think a Pantoja fight is coming soon for the winner. And, a lot of flyweights right now, a lot of stuff moving on. There's Cap. There's a lot of things. I think these guys will fight again in the future. So totally agree on that. There we go. Man, you guys are killing it. JDM, we did Tai Tuivasa. Guys, we're 2 weeks away from the MVP show, Ronda Rousey and Gina. Crazy, because I felt like it was so hyped 2 months ago, and with all the announcements, I feel like it's losing steam. Am I wrong on that? Like Perry and Diaz, Francis Ngannou, we're like 12 days away, and I feel like we're losing steam on that card. So, yeah, I think it's wild. Sean Sheriff, I think, will be Gable Stevenson's first fight. Okay, I like that, Scott. I like that. I haven't heard anything on that yet. So, it could easily become the next UFC trilogy. Love that, Sean. Totally agree with you. UFC next 3 cards are great. Next pay-per-views or just the 3 cards in general? Because I'm trying to think. I know the one after. I don't know 2. Because isn't one of them an Apex card after it? I believe. Yeah, pay-per-view. I agree. Yeah. I felt like it was a slow start of the year. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't do that. I try to be as honest as possible on the highest highs or lowest lows. I think it's been a slow start. I think we're ready. I think this card, the White House card, we're gonna see McGregor. I think after that we see Islam versus Gary, and I think we got a lot of big key co-main events and feature fights that we need to happen. Like we need to see Gillian versus Dern. I think we need to see Valentina fight her championship back. I think we're going to see Marab versus Jan in a rematch soon. So I think we got a lot of fights to come up. Volkov versus Cortez Acosta is winner next. Volkov versus Cortez is winner next. Yeah, Sean, I think the winner of this fights Josh Hogan next if he beats Derek Lewis. That's what I think, because I think Poatan and Gon is happening next month. Aspinall is back, so Aspinall will fight the winner December, probably main event of the Las Vegas card, right, of the year. So it is summer now. For the rest of the year will be solid. Yes, Sean, I agree. Volkov by decision. Scott, I agree with that too. I think I said that earlier when we were kind of breaking down the fights. Cortez is hot. I get it. And he can end the fight in one strike. I totally get it. I think Volkov is so good. Such a good veteran. Savvy, long, lean, can jab his own right. Very durable too. Very tough. I think Volkov wins this fight. I'm leaning Volkov. I'm leaning Chimaev, Tara, Volkov, Buckley, and King Green. King Green versus Jeremy Stevens. The prelims are awesome. November and MSG could be Aspinall title there. Yeah. Poetan versus Aspinall. Sign me up. Take my money. Take my money, right? But I think Gon's a harder matchup for Poetan than what people think. I really do. Man, there's nothing like iced coffee at 1:45 p.m. The best. Yeah, I think the rest of the year is gonna be great, guys. I really, really do. All right, I know G is coming on in a second. I'm trying to think. Cody Durden. It happens, man. Dude, okay. Here's another one. Jim Miller versus Flash Gordon. Jared Gordon. I love that fight. Joel Alvarez. Yeah, versus Amas. And then, dude, how about I'm gonna butcher his name. Sean, make fun of me, please, on this one. Is that guitar guy? The 10-1 versus Ozzy Diaz. They're setting up a guitar for another knockout. So that kid's absolutely on fire. He's the main event of the prelims. That's wild that he's higher on the card than a lot of those really good fights. Yeah, Sabatini on the dude. The prelims are absolutely stacked. The best part, Dave, it's not even taking my money anymore. Paramount Plus for the win. Yeah, I agree, Sean. I agree. People get so upset on the commercials and all that, and I get it. I know it's not the same, but guys, I'm with you. Just like this Saturday is a great example. This Saturday, me and the boys, we're going to Tampa, WWE. There's Backlash. We'll be watching it. It would be hard of me who does this for a living, right? It would be hard to buy the pay-per-view on ESPN Plus and kind of watch it when I'm at the show. It'd just be tough, right? Now, I put on my Paramount Plus for free, which I spend $8 a month on, right? Who wouldn't? Paramount Plus is great without the UFC. Like, their shows and movies are awesome. Now I feel really good about watching one fight here, one fight there. Any news on G? Shirley Dern will fight at UFC 330. I don't know. Let's ask her. Let's ask G about it. So she'll be on here in a second. Max Holloway says he's training to fight McGregor. Yes, that's happening. Like, that's the main event of quote unquote International Fight Week. That's so that's UFC 240, 239, 240. Holloway and McGregor. That's crazy. Also, UFC announced Mako. Yeah, we talked about that also too. Someone, Fiziev versus Torres. What is it? Yeah, Fiziev versus Torres and Shara Bullet versus the Wild Piera. So that's those are fun. Both fights are good. I like both of those. For a fight night, like, give me fights like that. I like, we were talking about it earlier, like Gamrot versus Quinlan. Like, that's a great fight night main event. It's like, you have this guy who's been in like Gamrot's fought Charles Oliveira in a co-main event on a pay-per-view. You know what I mean? Or on the fight night main event. Like, you fight guys like that with big names that's been around, and then you match them up with a guy who's never had that big moment before, and you see where they're at. I love when stuff like that happens. If McGregor does not fight in July, I think Mosarf could headline versus Volk. Ooh, that's a good point. We see that's another fight we haven't even mentioned yet. Like, can that co-line? No, that can't co-headline because that's a title fight over Holloway, Max. Can that be under Islam and Gary in August? Or is that Marab and Jan in August? And maybe that's September, Volkanovski and Mosarf. Yeah, it's going to be good. Good end of the year. I know it's Chandler's fault for waiting, but I kind of feel bad that he waited so long for the McGregor fight. Yeah, but again, John, you ready for this one? Don't feel bad. The UFC was what do I say? I don't want to say paying him, but was giving him surplus, was saying, hey, this didn't happen, so here's a little bit of that, because they know they were trying to make it happen. And so let's just say Chandler was well taken care of. I know that for a fact. He was well taken care of. I think his wife just bought him a Ferrari or something, right? Like he made money. Let's just say he made money on that rivalry, even though he didn't fight. Do we really trust McGregor to make it because we know Max will be good? No, Sean, we shouldn't trust McGregor. I think he's going to fight. I think we've got too far. And if he doesn't fight, I think even the UFC, who probably loves and supports Conor more than anyone, right, will be like, guys, we're done. We've tried this so many times. I think it's McGregor versus Max, and I think it's going to happen. But Sean, yes, we shouldn't trust him. If he trust is earned, and he hasn't earned that trust from me or us. So I agree with you that we should not think it will happen. And if it doesn't, maybe it's Max versus Arman. Max versus Arman is a good backup plan. I think that's cool, right? Max versus Arman. Oh, really? That makes me feel better then. Oh, yeah. John. Oh, that's about Chandler. Yes, Chandler was taken care of. If Chandler wins at welterweight, White House. If Chandler wins at White House card and McGregor loses in July, it lines up perfect for Chandler McGregor to happen. Yeah, Sean, that's a great point. It could. Like, McGregor's got 5 fights that they can always just fall back on millions of dollars. Like, they could just, hey, Nate, you ready? You beat Mike Perry? All right, let's go. We're hot. You know, those two are hot. That could be a trilogy fight. It could main event any arena in the world and get millions of views. Like, McGregor Chandler, I think, can still do that. Main event, any show, tons of money. McGregor versus Holloway 2. God forbid he wins 1 or 2. McGregor versus Islam. McGregor versus Ian Gary. Here's another one. McGregor versus Paddy Pimblett. Just fall back on millions of dollars. So, yeah. Does Prates deserve to skip Ian Gary? No. Ian Gary and I think is the rightful number 1 contender. And Gary versus Islam, I think, will happen in August. I feel very good. I think Morales is the tough guy now. Do they skip Morales and is Prates next? Do you sit down and cool both of those guys? Or I talked about earlier, do you put those guys against each other? Do you say, hey, we're going to maybe waste a title fight in the future and say Morales and Prates, you're going to fight on the November MSG card in the co-main event, and winner fights Gary or Islam for the championship in the spring. So we'll see. Chandler versus McGregor at MSG in November would be wild. It would be, man. Like, it would be wild. But one or both those guys need to win, though, right? Like, it's a rivalry and it's fun and it's cool. But if they just say if Max blasts Conor and who's Chandler fighting at the White House? Help me out, chat. Chandler's fighting. It's coming. It's coming, boys. Come on. Chandler needs to win. If Chandler loses, it's like there's no Roofy. Roofy is beating Chandler. Thank you, John. Roofy is beating Chandler. Yeah, I don't think that's what I mean. That's why I just said 7 names versus McGregor. Like, you need to he falls back 7 names. And if Chandler loses, I don't think McGregor's going to fight Chandler. Like, if them both losing, that's a hard sell, guys. That's a hard sell. So I think if Paddy beats Benoit Saint Denis, McGregor versus Paddy, you know what I mean? If Nate Diaz beats Mike Perry, Conor falls into Nate Diaz. Even if he loses to Max Holloway, he gets another, if he wants it, another big fight. So there we go. Man, I like that. We cooped up the rest of the year. We White House card, talking about the devil we love and know. I know I'm no even crazy introduction. There's no L. We need G on the screen as much as possible. What's up, G? How are you, friend?
What's up? How are you doing today?
We're doing good. We're struggling a little bit without L. I miss our dear friend, but we're doing all right. We're doing good. How is everything with you?
A little bit slow over here, I guess. I got a shot in my hip last Wednesday, and I haven't been allowed to move my hip. I'm not going to be allowed to move my hip until next Wednesday. So, just lots of couch time for me.
Yeah. That's I maybe a dumb question. How did that go? Was it as painful as it sounds, or not really?
It's, I guess, not my first time doing it. I've had them done 4 or 5 times at this point, so it's kind of routine. But it's definitely never fun. It's different experience every single time. It's a nice 6-inch needle, so that's always fun. They use an ultrasound, so then they can like direct it into the right spot. This time it wasn't terribly painful. I've had times in the past where they've been able to like aspirate fluid out of my joint before they had to put the stuff in. And on those times is usually when it's more painful, where I'm like, this time it wasn't too bad, but I'm just still couch bound. So looking for all the recommendations on Netflix, Prime, Hulu, everything.
Okay. I actually, I got a dumb fun one for you. I think it's, I know it's not up your alley, but I think it's all right. I think it's pretty fun. Let me get back to the needle thing. Cause when you said it, I'm not the biggest needle guy, just not, I can, when it's done to me, it's okay. I just can't watch it get done. So I know this is a dumb story maybe, but when you're pregnant and you don't want to, when you're about to give birth and you don't want to feel a lot of that action down there, you get I think it's called an epidural. I think that's what it's called, an epidural. So I don't know why, my wife's like, dude, I want you, she was just like, I want you to watch it or something of that nature. Like, let me see how it is. I've never seen a needle go that far in a human body. And I was like, I was scared and hurt when it was happening to Susie. So yeah, I can only imagine. Like when you say 6-inch needle, I'm like, yeah, I kind of watched that once. It was not great. Not great.
It's funny because getting it done, I'm not too bad. Like it's a little bit of pressure, but I can handle it. But whenever she pulled the needle out and then I'm looking at it, I get a little bit lightheaded. Like, oh, that is a big needle.
Right. Same. Sean goes, has G been getting stem cells?
Yes, that's what we did get.
Yep. G needs to watch Landman. I've seen it before. Also, Anderson Silva, how on Paramount 8 bad. Okay. Anderson Silva has like a show, like a documentary.
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah.
That is. So okay, that's what I was gonna say. And I know it's not up your alley, and you're like, Dave, really? But it's just so fascinating and kind of so Hulk Hogan just released on Netflix. It's like a 4-part series, like an hour for each episode. And it's like some more about his real life and his wife or his ex-wife and a divorce and just like the wrestling game and stuff. And, it's not really about wrestling, but just like his life. What a life. Like he was like I didn't even know this. And I'm a wrestling guy. My kids love it. Like he was a guitar guy. He was like a rock star before wrestling. And like he was in the Rocky movie. Just like his stories is pretty cool. It's like 4 hours, very easy watch. Like I watched it like that one night.
I started a couple episodes of that. I'm not huge. Yeah, I'm not huge into like wrestling, but I don't know. I love I want to. There are some selections. Oops, my Siri's talking. I love I love the behind the scenes of it.
Me too.
I love to see like how invested the fans are, and like they have a couple documentaries on Netflix about wrestlers that I absolutely adore because I'm like, it's really cool to watch the behind the scenes of it. I'm like, wrestling itself, I don't know. I don't really like watching it. I'm not a fan of it in general, but what they do to an audience is absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Okay, so then I got one for you. Maybe you already watched it. If not, I'm telling you, I think you will love it, what you just said. Have you ever seen Unreal on Netflix?
Yeah, I have.
Do you like it?
Absolutely love it.
Dude, thank you, G. It's like so much fun. Like that is almost better than the show. Like that scene, like the stories behind it, what really happened, and like going into the wrestler's real life. It's awesome. So good.
Oh yeah, and like I said, I'm like, there is no sport that does it better of the performance part of it too. Right. Where they, like I said, with the fans, how much they captivate them, how much they do. How many of them are able to transfer that into something Hollywood, or like they are a name bigger than just wrestling because they are just able to get that attention somehow. So I'm like, I really think it is a skill that a lot of other athletes could really learn from them.
For sure. And I say this all the time. They do 2 or 3 live shows a week in these big, like when we go to now the Kia Center, which is Amway, but like the Kia Center in Orlando, and it's like 18,000 people for a UFC. It's a big deal. The WWE does that 2-3 times a week. And think about it. They do it on Monday night and Friday night, which are usually not great nights for that. And then they have a pay-per-view kind of once a month. My sons and I are actually going on Saturday. They're in Tampa. So I was talking about on the show before, my boys are super into it. So we're going Saturday. It's just crazy. Like they sell out week after week after week. All right. We got a lot of stuff in here with the chat. Also, David, did you know Hulk Hogan started AF with Bischoff? Yeah, he was a big part of that. And now RAF is on fire. So that's great. Do you see any UFC fighters doing well in the WWE? I do. You know who I see doing really well and making a ton of money in the WWE?
Who?
Gillian the Savage Robertson.
I don't know about that one.
Dude.
I was going to say 2 names that I think would do great. And I guess one of them's kind of obvious. The Josh Hokett is already playing that in the UFC. And then I think Patty Pimblett would be great for it as well.
Patty would be great. I think Connor would be awesome. Connor / Ian Gary. I think they can both talk on the microphone. No, dude, females in the WWE, they do really good. They make a ton of money. And they even had, look, maybe you know her already. Maybe you'd be like, oh, Dave, look up Eva Marie. She was in WWE and she had the redhead. That was her gimmick for like 3 years. So she made a ton of money. She's like a big deal. She like multi-million like Instagram followers. She's like one of those type of people.
Got to be a new redhead.
G getting a gaming console and play UFC 5 as herself and beat up Mackenzie Dern and Angie Hope. Dude, Sean, that's a great comment. That's a great one.
Honestly, the only gaming console I have is it's probably from the 2000s. I have a Wii that I have had since I was like, I don't know, 12 years old.
That's awesome.
And that's all I still have. And I probably pull it out 3 or 4 times a year, not too much, but that is my only gaming console.
I love it. And Sean, we've said this on the show. I think I even texted G once. My sons love the UFC game. They love Madden and NBA, and they love the UFC game. And they know Gillian through me and just through the shows and whatever and pictures and stuff. So when they play the game, they are usually my youngest son sometimes is Ilya Taporia. My oldest son, when he plays the game, is Gillian Robertson. And they like does the season and you have to like win fights on the tough, and then you have to win on the prelims and keep moving up. And he's been I think he's won the championship multiple times as Gillian. So there you go.
Strong choice.
Strong choice. Good son. Watch some Dark Side episodes. They have one series with WWE stuff and one with UFC stuff. Oh, that's a good one, Sean. Okay.
I actually have watched those. I'm
Dude,
like,
look at you.
I have too much time, like even while I'm in camp, that I'm just sitting on the couch,
right?
Recovery things where I'm like stretching or doing like massage things or whatever.
Right. So
I'm like, I just have hours that I am doing that kind of stuff, and I just have the TV on. So there's a lot of series that I've already covered.
Okay. I got another one for you, maybe, and it's probably not up your alley, but it's like one of those things. It's not up mine. I started watching it and just got hooked, and it's like 6-7 years. Did you ever watch Sons of Anarchy?
I actually haven't watched that one either.
There you go. It's same thing. I'm not into bikers and like biker gangs, but it's like any show. It's about the characters and it's a family, and there's like it's like a drug show, and they kind of get tied up. It's pretty good. Sons of Anarchy, pretty good.
I'll put that on the list.
There we go. Do fighters get paid being on the game like soccer stars? Ooh, that's a good question.
I doubt we get paid like the soccer stars are getting paid, but we do get paid.
Okay, you do get paid for like your image and likeness kind of a thing.
Yeah, you get. I don't know, like I guess what they base it off of, because I read somewhere, like I want to say like on Instagram or something. So I'm like,
it's true.
It probably says it in a contract somewhere that I have, but I just haven't read that deep into it. But yeah. I read on Instagram that if your character is used more, then you get paid more. Don't know if that's true or not, but yeah, they do pay us.
So with my son being you and winning championships, that's making you more money.
Hopefully.
There you go, dude. That's the Van Auken way, the Van Auken Robertson team forever. All right. So G, we I talked a lot about UFC 328, which is this Saturday. Grant's on the card. Excited about that. Chimaev and Strickland. It's actually a really good card. Volkov versus Waldo. Joshua Van, like one of our all-time favorites, is on the card. Brady versus Buckley. I think it's stacked. Prelims are good. Anything on Perth? I know Sunday, nothing with thank you. There you go. I'm telling you, it's pretty good. Pretty good. I thought Carlos Prates looked amazing. And I know JDM maybe didn't look great. I thought that was more positive towards Prates. Anything on that? Are you agreeing with me, or do you think JDM did look off? Oh, we lost G. Oh.
Am I back?
You're good. You're good.
All right. So, yeah, I think it was a little bit of both. I think, like you said, Prates did look amazing. He just kind of systematically broke down JDM. And, yeah, maybe JDM didn't look his 100% best. Other than that, I would say I was definitely impressed with, what's his name? Cam Rouston looked great. I felt like he had a good performance. Obviously, the first Friday night, Cody Steele had that slick, like, backside heel hook with, like, the reverse grip. Honestly, I've never seen that submission in my life.
Really?
Oh, yeah, because he is using just a different grip than a traditional heel hook. Okay. So it's something that I want to say is very new in jiu-jitsu. Like it's newer in the no-gi game, where they're innovating a lot of stuff these last couple of years, especially in the leg lock series. So I'm like, yeah, I've never seen that grip before to finish a heel hook. I was like Googling it myself, trying to look at like different details, things like that. I'm like, it was definitely something slick to watch.
Yeah, no, I was sick. And then of course, the Tai Tuivasa thing, like, it's wild. The heavyweight Tony Ferguson. It's just so tough because I'm not that person to be like, man, you can't make money, or you know what I mean? It's like, this is what you guys do. This is your career. This is how you provide. And it's just like, just stinks that if you can't beat, and I looked it up, I think Sutherland was the 44th ranked heavyweight on Topology. It's like, if you can't beat the 44th ranked heavyweight in your hometown, like, what are we doing? Like, it's just, it stinks. It's over. It really is.
Yeah, I just pulled up his record right now. It's a lot of red right there.
7 in a row. 7.
And you have to cut him. Like, what are we doing? I understand. And it's almost, this is what I thought of the Australia card as a whole, is I could tell that they were trying to put a lot of Australians on it and trying to get them good wins. And it didn't produce the highest level of fights for the most of them.
Right. Great point.
There was some that, like, definitely, like I said, like Cam Rouston looked great. And there was some that definitely stood out. But I feel like for the most part, a lot of them, it looked like they were just trying to put Australians on the card. It wasn't like they were putting like Tai Tuivasa on there. It's like, does he even belong on the card at this point?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Let him fight Tony Ferguson. Dude, Tony Ferguson's winning fights now in Misfits. That's what I hate to say. That's what he should do next. Like, I think he should still provide. I think he still has opportunities. Gee, I said this. I'm not even being funny. MVP Promotions have been traveling lately. They were just in London, one of their last shows. They've never had an Australia show. So what happens? Jake Paul, who fights heavyweights, how about Jake Paul versus Tai Tuivasa in a boxing match in Australia to kind of like break that market in? I think that's something he can do and make money, you know?
No, and he's definitely, like, he's got the personality.
Yeah,
he's got that star power that everybody wants to watch. He just needs, honestly, maybe the WWE. I feel like he would honestly probably be a good character in there.
It's not bad. And actually, real quick, I did see that, and I don't like this comment. Taco Bell is very, very, it gives you superpowers. I don't think it was anything to do. He didn't have Taco Bell the first 6 fights that he lost. So come on, guys. It wasn't Taco Bell's fault. We are pro Taco Bell on this show.
Yeah, that just helped fuel him. That was power, if anything else.
Tai Tuivasa, the PFL. You ready for this one? I don't even think the PFL should do that. That if the PFL gives a UFC fighter on a 7-fight losing streak, that is so bad for your brand. Like, it means you don't respect you guys. And imagine if he wins 2 fights in a row in the PFL. That's horrendous for you. You know what I mean? Like, G wants him fighting Logan Paul instead. I love it. Yeah, dude, Logan Paul's killing it in WWE. All right, last thing, we'll let G go. A little UFC 328 G. Chimaev, Strickland, Joshua Van, Buckley, and Brady. I know, Brady and Buckley's probably right up your alley. I think Chimaev is absolutely going to smash Sean Strickland within one round. That's my take. Throw me out some things about this card, some highlights, and some predictions.
The fight I've been waiting to see since Miami, Joshua Van and Tyara. I'm like,
yeah,
I think that is going to be the fight of the night, going to be an absolute firefight for what it lasts. Sean Brady, obviously, I'm like, he's with my team, got to side with him, but I think Buckley is a tough matchup for him, just how explosive and how powerful he is. I think it does pose a lot of threats for Brady's game. Then I like the King Green Jeremy Stevens match. It's just gonna be fun. Yeah.
Me too.
With the Chimaev and Strickland, I don't see Strickland winning, but I would like to see him win.
Me too. I think I'm with you on that. I think we're pretty much agreeing on everything you just said there, G. I don't see a way he does it. I just don't. Does he get him down? I feel like if he jabs him twice and Chimaev is not happy with it, he is just jumping for his legs. There's just no way he's not getting them down. You know what I mean?
Another one that might be a fight of the night, Joel Alvarez versus Armstrong. I'm like, that's an absolute banger of a fight there.
Yeah.
Honestly,
prelims are fire.
I was gonna say this card top to bottom is pretty good.
It's pretty good. G, I'm telling you, we had we had fan questions throughout the whole show. We really talked about a ton of 328, and I think we were all in agreement. Probably, you ready? It might be the best pay-per-view of the year. From top to bottom, you got Chimaev in the main event. The flyweight fight's awesome. Buckley and Brady was a main event of a fight night. Now that's on the card. The prelims, you got Grant on it. It's a really good card. Really good card. Oh no,
and we need it after these last couple of weeks, man.
I agree. Hey, if Taco Bell wants to throw anything our way, I'll just take free food. And G, I know you're not a Taco Bell girl, I would assume. They have dirty sodas there. Oh my goodness, G. It's good. All right. It's good. All right. No barbecue this week. I think I really messed it up. I really wanted to try to come down south to get this barbecue, but I totally Elle and Grant are gone. That was part of the barbecue trip. I'm like, Elle, you got to be here for it.
Yeah. No, I completely forgot that. I don't know. Fights come up so fast, honestly. I feel like whenever you get the contract, you always have too long of time. And then you'll be like, oh, I'm fighting next week now. It just came up so fast. Another great fight on next week's card.
For sure. G, any update from the UFC?
Hopefully soon, man. Hopefully soon. Like I said, I just got this shot last week. Next Wednesday, I should be getting back to training. And then I'm hoping that we can start getting into fight negotiations from that point. So hopefully we'll be in talk soon.
There we go. Does Imavov fight the winner? Yeah, I would assume so. I hate to say it, if Strickland wins, I think they probably do the rematch. I think because it's just a big money fight. But yeah, I thought Imavov should have been fought in Chimaev before Strickland, to be brutally honest. But I just think Strickland's the bigger name, and it was hot, and it just did happen. Co-main event, we talked about it already. G be having the Dorito Loco Taco hair color. Come on. That's more orange, Sean. That's red. Come on, Sean. Put some respect on her name, dude. Put some respect. All right, G. Hey, that was fun. That was quick, easy, painless. Grant fights this Saturday. Big fight for him. I think we talked about that a lot on the show. Rebeski's really tough. I like Grant's chances of kind of taking him down. Ground and pound, really kind of beating him up. I feel good about it, but it's a good fight. We'll see. It's it's a big Saturday night for sure. So enjoy the fights. I'll be with my boys. We have a wrestling show to go to in Tampa. But I'll be watching it. I'll text you once or twice, especially with hopefully a big Grant win.
Oh, I'm jealous, man.
Hey, come to Tampa. We got you. Love it.
I don't know about the drive, but
yeah.
I'm jealous of the experience.
That's for sure. All right, guys. Gillian the Savage Robertson, Dave Van Auken, we're gone. Nothing Saturday night. Like I said, we're all kind of busy. We'll be back next Tuesday. Everyone, me, L, and G, probably have 2 or 3 people lined up for that already. We'll see everyone next week. And cheers. Enjoy the fights. Later, G.